This river, I'm sure you're going to hear from everyone else, a love-hate relationship for most guys.
Water's dirty, fishing hard.
I believe this is going to be a grind.
I mean, as terrible as this place is, someone always gets a big bag and someone always gets the biggest fish of the year.
You don't want to keep saying it, the largemouth are dead.
Competing in the 2017 Renegade Series has been quite the challenge this season. The waters of Newborough were unkind to most of the field fishing their first qualifier in the series.
Even with the water, it's still not that heavy. This is like the walking machine.
Anglers in Qualifier 1 at Newborough fought to bring in any significant weight to the scales due to disinterested post-spawn fish. A bad Q1 result meant that anglers needed to pick up their game.
Week 2, you want to be definitely positioned in the top 10, top 20. Set yourself up for a good couple of last events.
Lake St. Francis was the location for the second qualifier.
Jesus!
And it started off with a bang. Rain, thunder, and lightning threw off most of the pre-fish patterns. Teams were on fish, but it was the inconsistency of the day's fishing that hurt teams looking to cull throughout the day. Despite the challenges, there were some teams whose performance on these waters rose them up in the standings. Newly formed Team 31, Matt Massey and Travis Raisin, stood out with their respective 4th and 3rd place finishes, as they placed higher than some of the long-standing partnerships. But after 2 qualifiers, it would end up being last year's Classic winners who would remain the team to beat, placing 1st in Newborough and 2nd at Lake St. Francis.
You're doing really, really well, so keep us in that Team of the Year race.
Lenny and Jeff's push to make Team of the Year won't go unchallenged though. With less than a pound difference, Dave Chong and Doug Brownridge's 3rd place finish in Qualifier 2 shows that they're no strangers to finding the right fish. Blake Orr and Matt Tooley's move from 26th to 1st place shows that hard work and a good pre-fish can make all the difference in getting you to the top.
Very nice. There's our Qualifier 2 champs.
The pressure to make the Classic's not there anymore. We're there, so.
And that's the ultimate goal, you know, with Renegade. It's nice to win and everything, but the Classic is really what you fish for.
Here we are now on the 3rd stop toward the Classic, the Ottawa River, a stop in the series that has some teams worried.
Today looks like we're gonna have some beautiful weather, sun is shining, and the water levels are back to where they're supposed to be. So hopefully your day today is better than what I'm hearing the pre-fish was.
It's hard to feel confident on this river. I have a love-hate relationship with this river. I've done well on this river. I've done bad on this river.
Not very confident today, you know. Honestly, if I can get 10 pounds in the boat today, I'm a pretty happy camper.
All right, number 1, you're good to go, number 1.
We got a good pre-fish and we got a plan, and if we're able to catch our big fish, we should do okay.
We're going to do some running. Hopefully that'll avoid some of the pressure from the guys too. Like I know there's been a lot of pre-fishing and stuff like that.
I've heard fishing's been tough, but somebody's going to find them. Hopefully it'll be us.
We looked at all our largie spots. We could only find pike. That was the only thing we could find on largie spots. So a lot of 12 inchers, and so we switched it over. I think we're going for smallmouth. We'll see.
The Team of the Year race is led by Q1 winners Lenny DeVos and Jeff Delage with a 2-event total weight of 39.43 pounds. The race remains incredibly tight after 3rd place, with less than 3 pounds separating 10th from 4th. 2 consistent finishes keep Larry McPhail and Carlos Ponte in the top 15, sitting just over 8 pounds behind our Team of the Year leaders.
It's the morning of Q3 at the 2017 Renegade Bass Series, and behind me, we've got the Ottawa River. I'm JP DeRose, and I'm filling in for our good friend Rob Jackson, who's actually away. I think he's catching lake trout. Lucky guy. Now, the Ottawa is a completely different mix from what these anglers experienced at a Q2 when they're fishing St. Francis, which was abundant smallmouth and even largemouth fishery. Here, we're talking miles and miles of some of the most beautiful largemouth cover you'll ever see, but it also comes with a price: tough fishing.
Team 40, Kevin McPhee and Chris Boldock finished in 28th at Qualifier 2.
Ain't cooperating today, or this morning. No, we don't have anything yet.
This water.
And dirty water to boot.
Team 26, Brett Miller and Rob Layton, looked to keep themselves in the running for the Classic, but the last event hurt them.
The Ottawa River is still not what it used to be. We had 2 winters in a row, or 2 springs in a row with big kill-off and all the back bays and stuff like that. That used to have big fish, they're just not there anymore.
Team 41, Jean Morin and Serge Carriere, are looking to keep themselves in a top 10 position after finishing 5th at Qualifier 2.
Yeah, we're going on past stuff. Not panning out.
Full of carpet here today. Really stirring things up.
Rock bass. I don't think I've ever caught a rock bass on this body of water.
It's early in the morning, and behind me, Team 29, Dave Chong and Doug Brownridge. These guys always fish for the win, and what they're going to be doing today is targeting as much cover as possible. Behind me, you can see everything from arrowheads, pads, rice, slot mats, stumps, everything you could think of where a big fish will target. But the thing is with this team, they don't mess around with limit fish. They're looking for the key bites in the key feeding areas, and they're working quickly around this bay, looking to start striking.
We probably had like, I don't know, we got 10 tournament days here now or not, but we've got big single fish, but we never can seem to put a bag together. That's why we keep changing up what we're doing. So, you know what, it's not working yet. So. I mean, as terrible as this place is, someone always gets a big bag, someone always gets basically the biggest fish of the year usually comes from here. A 6-pounder, someone's probably going to get one.
Literally, there's hundreds of miles of shoreline along the Ottawa River, but what we're seeing here in Q3 is a lot of the teams concentrating on the back pockets. And the reason's pretty simple. If you look at the temperature in the main river channel, it's hovering around that 66, 67 degrees, but when you get into the back of these pockets, 70, 71, 73, and as the day wears on with that sun, the water's gonna get warmer faster in these back pockets. What does that do for the fishing? Well, it's pretty simple. All the bait ends up being back in that warmer water, and when the bait's there, the predators are there. So northern pike and largemouth bass are going to invade those shallows looking to feed, and that's why you see these teams targeting the back pockets on the Ottawa River.
We like to fish the cover, and it's a little bit early for them. Sun gets up and we'll get back into the stuff hopefully. A nice bunch of mats, some nice layover stuff that give them a little shade. You know, looking for them to ambush something coming in, get out of the sun here in a little bit. There. Came right over top of it again. Oh, that's a bass, that'll be something else. It may have been a pike. We're in 20th, I think, or 21st. The last week on Franny, we really took it hard. It was a rough one. So we're right on the bubble, so we need a good week. Need a good day. Need a good day today.
One thing, the back bays, they're dead. I keep saying it, the largemouth are dead. There's barely any left. Mind you, we did get a good one. So that one wasn't dead.
I'd say this is the toughest Ottawa I've ever seen in my life. Mind you, we already have our limit in cold. We're doing good that way, but
We couldn't get a big fish this morning. But we got some good. I think we got a 3.5 and 2 3s.
We're looking for a cow later. A pig, a cow, a donkey. One of those.
Yep. Yeah. Not the big one I got yesterday. That'll work. Little call. Fatty. Number 3.
no? Little one, but how's it called?
Right behind me, we've got Team 10, Blake, Orr, and Matt Tooley. And this morning they said they came into this area and they got into a crazy frog bite, which means they put a lot of fish in the boat quick. And now they said things slowed down. So as you can see, they're picking apart isolated cover and they're working super slow.
So this is our third time over the area. Just kind of working like a spot within a spot with lots of stumps in here and lily pads, and it's just really good junk fishing. So we're just slowing it down with some Sinkos and just seeing if we can get a bite, but it's not looking like it. So Ottawa River changed for that. You know, it's a hot bite for half an hour, and then it just shuts down, and something might happen again this afternoon. You don't know. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. Very hard body of water to fish, very challenging. But your next cast could be a 6-pounder. They're here, right? So. Ottawa River is famous for big largemouth, and they're there. So the frog bite stops, so we just started pitching to cover and really letting it sit and taking our time and no rush. When you're on that caliber of fish, no use of rushing anything. So we're up just over 19. Like I said, you go and go and go, and then the next one could be it.
As a number of teams have been run into by our camera boats today, the common thread seems to be the complaint about northern pike replacing their bass from pre-fish. Numbers of teams are losing baits to these things, and what they're doing is basically fishing for largemouth in those areas, and pike are coming out of nowhere and annihilating their baits. And one thing's become very clear. For a lot of the anglers, it's becoming very frustrating.
It was a pike derby today. We're leading, hands down. 11 or 12 pike we've got so far.
Oh, look at that. You don't want that.
Oh, that was. Story of our day, pike everywhere.
The Ottawa continues to baffle teams in the third qualifier. The afternoon sun and plentiful cover make it perfect for anglers using a frog presentation in the back bays. With only a few hours left to fish, will the Ottawa River give up any of its big fish?
I hate this place.
That's fine.
Teams making their way into the weigh-in for Q3 explain what their day was like.
We had an amazing pre-fish Monday. We had 20-pound bags, and today we stuck to our game plan, going to the same spots, and they were just not hitting.
I had two good ones swat at me on a frog and they didn't even want it, so we struggled. It was really bad.
Well, practice we found some big largemouth we thought we were going to go to, and there were smallies in the spots, so totally changed.
No fish till around 2 o'clock, and then we caught 2 off the dock, and that was pretty much our day. A lot of running around and not much success for it.
Big fish being placed into bags suggests that the Ottawa River wasn't bad for all the teams fishing Qualifier 3.
We got pretty well what we're looking for. Weight-wise, we're hoping to be about middle of the pack, and I think we're being somewhere close to that.
That's our big one of the day. It was a struggle. We probably only got 7 or 8 keepers, but they're pretty decent fish. So we hopefully should hold for one of the top checks.
Despite the evidence that some teams would do well when they hit the stage, many teams were dreading it. As the teams began to hit the scales, the low weights revealed why some anglers hate fishing the Ottawa River.
Now after this one, we're going to go to big water, and that's where I'm looking forward to going.
Every visit to the scale resulted in numbers that began to rival those of Newborough Lake, and it seemed as though every team that came to the scales had the same story.
That's the thing that I hate the most about it is we found them, just couldn't get them in.
The Ottawa River put an end to Team 31's impressive showing in the first 2 events, but would Matt and Travis be able to maintain a top 10 position?
Like that 9-10 pounds might actually get you a check.
I have a love-hate relationship with the Ottawa, though. I love it, it hates me, and it all works out.
With most teams failing to adjust their patterns or methods to get on big fish, how would the rest of Q1 and Q2's leaders perform?
Actually, it's pretty close to practice. We shook everything off, so going up today, it was kind of like, we knew there's some fish, tried to bring it close to the boat, but this water's so murky that even when you get it within 2 feet of the boat, you still can't get a good bead on how big they are. So we knew we'd get a limit, we just didn't know how big it was going to be.
An unsuccessful pre-fish didn't stop Dave Chong and Doug Brownridge from finding some pretty good fish. They would weigh in the first big fish of the day, proving that the Ottawa still had some big largemouth in it, despite Team 18's belief that they're not there. Steve Barnett and Jack Levert made a conscious decision to adjust their approach to this body of water based on what they discovered during their pre-fish.
We couldn't find greens. We just found smallies, so we stuck to the smallies, and they got us a decent weight.
1571, your new leaders, Steve Barnett, Jack Levert.
Only 6 teams left to weigh in. How high could the weights go? Who would move to the top? A proven leader or a new contender?
Actually, we had a pretty good day. It was early. The rest of the day was brutal, but we had a good first kick of the can in the morning. We got our 5 fish by 8 that were weighing in, so it was better than the pre-fish, so we're happy with it.
Up next, Jason Kluver and Dave Roy. As mentioned earlier, Dave Roy won the Renegade Bass Classic here a few years ago. 1728, your new leaders.
We took a pretty long boat ride to be able to take a very big gamble. The way the body of water's been fishing, and it's been so tough out here that if you need that one fish, you got to try at least do something different off the wall that
you know, maybe he's going to be able to make that game changer.
Terry Holder would hit the stage for Team 4, and although their day's catch wasn't in the running to make it to the top, they did have something else to offer.
Were you fishing smallmouth or largemouth?
We fished both. We had a mixed bag, but I got one good one.
Excellent. 1390, it looks like he's going to weigh a big fish.
The big fish so far was 4.78 pounds, held by Team 29, Dave Chong and Doug Brownridge.
554. Let's see this fish. This is a huge fish. This is your new big fish. And at 554, it is currently in the lead.
As Team 23 hit the stage, everyone wondered if Lenny and Jeff would dominate these waters as well.
The expectations are we're looking for 5 fish today. We had 14 pounds. We exceeded that. So we got maybe 10, 12 fish today.
Dave Roy, Jason, you guys, sigh of relief. Great round of applause for these guys. These guys always do well.
Charles Sim and Nigel Toohey have improved their performance with each passing qualifier. But will they come out on top today?
Official weight is 1775. There's your new leaders, folks, with only one boat to go.
The question is, will a back-to-back win for Orr and Toohey put them in contention for the Team of the Year race?
The weight to beat is 1775. You guys just saw it before we flashed the number. What do you think?
Hopefully it's bigger than 1778.
Hit it, Greg. 1947, Matt Tooley, Blake Orr, back-to-back Renegade Bass Qualifier champions. They won Q2 on Lake St. Francis. All right, let's see this fish. Almost 20 pounds. Someone always catches them.
With almost a 2-pound gap, Matt Tooley and Blake Orr take down the Ottawa River, giving them back-to-back wins on the season. Charles Sim and Nigel Toohey come close and gain themselves valuable Team of the Year points. Brian Pollock and Troy Bressy tie with Ed Potifat and Kevin Moberg with 13.03 pounds, and Elisa Bernstein and Sam Lozon round out our top 20 with 10.57 pounds.
Back-to-back wins is totally unexpected. To do that at this caliber of fishing is like something I'd never dream of doing.
You know, like for a Team of the Year, it boosts us up a little bit. So I think quite a bit for us anyway.
And this is a big deal for us. We feel like we're on a bit of a roll, so, you know, let's ride that into the Classic.